Welcome back to the channel. My name is Patrick, and in today's video I'm going to attempt to answer this question. Can you make passive income from scalping? In a second I'm going to jump over to the charts and show you two trade setups I am currently looking at. Hopefully by the end of the video we'll come to the conclusion. In return for this, all I ask is you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to continue supporting this channel.
Okay, so first things first, we're trading supply and demand, so we need to mark out our zones. So we are here looking at Euro USD, and we've got here some aggressive buying. So we've actually got two zones here that I'm interested in. So I'm going to mark it out first. Now how I draw these zones, I'm looking at from this point here, where price was pushed down to the low before price came back up. So in this section somewhere here, there was an order placed to make this move. That's the theory. And when price gets back to here, those same participants either buy it up again, or there's a bounce or a reaction from this zone because there was so many orders. There's some leftover orders here, and that's what we're trying to scalp. So that's the principle. That's the scalping of imbalances. Yeah. So that's one of our zones. Up here you can see we have another zone. So this is on H1, by the way. So I did drop a video about scalping from H1. I did say this is what I'm referring to, going back to, because it's a very easy, clean way of reading the supply and demand zones. You could also read it on M5, but this is just a lot easier to read. So really ideal for beginners. So here's another other demand zone again. So from that top wick there to this bottom wick there, those are two zones, and you can see they're quite large in size. So the risk for this one here would be about 52 pips, and the risk for this one here would be about 36 pips. So getting the right entry is very important. So with regards to entry, you've got two ways. You could do an aggressive entry, and you could do a entry based on confirmation. And really, this is the question you should be asking. We know the strategy works. You could backtest it and see for yourself. I know the strategy works because I've backtested it and I've used it multiple times. I know it gives me a high win rate. Okay, so backtest it and see for yourself. We know the strategy works. The real question is, where do we get in? Yeah. So do we get in at the top here, which is the open, or do we get in about 50% of that move, at the beginning of that move, which is here? And that's the real question. And then once you've got that answer, you then you can either trade, well, you could place a aggressive entry or a entry based on confirmation. So that's the real question you need to ask yourself. And to answer that question, what I do is zoom in. So I'm going to go down to M5 now, and I'm going to look at the structure of this setup here. So this is our move, right? So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more, just scroll over. So what I'm looking for here is an indication whether I should enter aggressively or passively. Well, passively. Aggressively or wait for confirmation, right? And once I have that answer, I could answer the question whether you can scalp passively using supply and demand. Yeah. So looking at this price action here, there's no real imbalance that pushes it out. There's definitely aggressive buying. That's why we're interested in this zone. But there's no imbalance. So there's no real reason for price to react so aggressively. So for me, looking at this here, I would want to wait for confirmation. And I'm looking at my entries at either here or the midpoint here. Sorry, let me just grab that. Or somewhere in the middle here. So I'm waiting for price to enter this zone, slow down, and print a candle in the direction I want to go, and that's my confirmation that it wants to go up. So that's how I would trade this move. I would wait for confirmation. So with this move, no, I can't trade this passively. I actually need to wait and see what happens before I could trade this. The other reason I said that is because I know there's news due today. Now, One of the reasons that this strategy isn't like 100% win rate or 90% win rate is because of news. When there's a strong news catalyst, doesn't even matter what setup you trade or what strategy you trade. It doesn't matter. News will blow straight through any demand, any supply zones, anything like that. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So I know there's news today, due today, CPI report, I think, from the US, and that's definitely going to affect this pair. So I'm going to wait. If price gets here before that news is released and it plays out, it prints a candle, I'm getting in, quick scalp, getting out. If it hasn't, I don't want to have a pending order here because when that news does come through, and if it's negative news for the euro, this is breaking straight past here and possibly heading all the way down to the demand that we saw that I drew out earlier. So I just show you quickly. So it could actually, if it's negative news, it could break straight through this demand and head all the way down to this demand here. So I definitely expect a reaction from here, but because we've got such a big draw on price and we've got news due and price has been stalling here, just slowly creeping up, given the impression it's going up, it's definitely, well, I don't want to get into a habit of predicting, but I do believe that eventually it's going to hit this demand. Whether it bounces from there continues, we don't know. It could hit this demand, bounce, then go straight through. But if there's strong negative news for this pair, it's going straight through this demand and it's heading down there. So due to that, putting that all into consideration, I don't want to have a pending order here. I'm not going to trade this passively. I want to see what's going on. I've got a busy day set, so if this doesn't happen before I get busy, I can't trade it. It is what it is. If it does and it plays out like I want before the news, I will trade it. So that's the answer to that question. That one, no, I'm not gonna set a pending order. I can't trade that passively. So the answer to that question is no. However, on this pair here, on this demand here, let me zoom in and I'll show you that demand. And let's see, show you the difference. Okay, so that demand down here is where all of this aggressive buying started. Have I lost it? Don't believe so. Yeah, there it is. It's where all this aggressive buying started. So we know there's value here. Someone saw a lot of value in this region here. And you can see, as I mentioned in my previous video, we have a Quasimodo reversal pattern. So if it's a reversal pattern, it should go all the way to the top, back where it started, which it has. So it has reached its objective. So I doubt that this will go far when price gets back to it. It may do, don't know. But anyway, I digress. So here, if you look at this demand compared to the last one we just looked at, okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. You can see a key difference here. We have a clean imbalance here. Price has not returned here. So there's potentially a lot of pending orders or unfulfilled orders, not pending orders, unfulfilled orders lying in around here. So when price returns there, we are going to get a reaction. How much of a reaction, we don't know. But through my back testing, I'm aiming for a 10 pip reaction. So with this here, can I set a pending order? Yes, I can. So I can step away from the laptop, from my phone, and just place a pending order here. And when price gets here, I get that bounce, get my 10 pips, and I could be asleep, I could be busy, it doesn't matter. Get my 10 pips, so on, right? What's key here is obviously managing your risk. You know your stop loss is going to be underneath here. You know where your entry is going to be. It's either at the open or 50%. That's for you to decide. And you also need to do the calculation. Now, I said this is a massive zone. So from here to the bottom here, we were looking at about 50 pips, right? 50 pips. I want to risk 1%. So 50 pips on this, you need to do your calculations because I don't want to lose more than 1% if I'm wrong. And that's how I will trade that. So in answer to that question, into the original question or the premise of this video, yes, I can set a pending order there and I can leave that alone and I could passively scalp that move. So if I have setups, more setups like, where's it gone? if I had more setups like this based on aggressive buying, I could definitely set a pending order. So to answer that question, as you can see, I have a pending order there, sitting there waiting. My stop loss should be underneath here, but I have it there instead because I want to reduce the risk, and I'm basing it off this move here, not this entire zone, just based off that move here. And I'm only going for a small reaction, 10 pips, and I'm happy to leave it there pending. And it may take a day, it may take a week, it may take a month, but eventually when price comes back there, it will react. Now again, I say this from my experience. I've back tested this, I've traded this setup, and I know people who have traded it and completely left the trade, completely forgot about it. A month later it hit and it responded, and they completely forgot it was they still had a pending order. So you could definitely make passive income for scalping. Now I say passive as if you know passive income, with any income, you do need to lay down some groundwork. And same with passive income. I have a portfolio of properties, buy-to-let properties, and I make passive income from it. But and you need to first source the property. I need to first buy the property, fix the property, get estate agents to manage the property, and then it becomes passive. And it's the same with this. First need to source the move. We need to wait for price to come back. We need to set the pending order and so on. So it's nothing's 100% passive, but in terms of passive income, in terms of scalping, this is how you would do it. If you have aggressive buying with an untouched zone and really aggressive buying, clean imbalance there, yeah, I believe strongly I can make passive income from doing this. So I place my order, leave it alone, and get on with my day. Price hits there, get my reaction, and that's that. So in conclusion to the question, yes, you can, and it's dependent on the quality of the setup. This zone, no, you need to wait for confirmation. I'm still going to trade it, but I'm going to wait. This zone here, no, I'm going to place my pending order. I'm going to leave that alone. I do have another pending order, I believe. Yeah, I've got Swiss here. And can we zoom out? I know I've got a pending order here somewhere. Okay, well, I haven't got a pending order here yet. But again, we had the same setup here on the Swiss. I've mentioned it in one of my videos that USD Swiss and Euro USD, they're well correlated. Actually, this is about to tag. I might have to take this trade. They're well correlated. So when there's a setup here, there's usually a setup on the Euro as well. As you can see, there's a setup there. So anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to have a look at this trade here and see whether or not I'm trading it now or I need to wait for confirmation. So I need to have a quick look at this trade here and get on with my day. So I'm going to wrap it up there. I've answered the questions to the video. I hope you've enjoyed that, and if you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button, support the channel, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned and see how I progress. And yeah, I appreciate all the support I've been getting recently, all the comments and all the likes and so on. Keep it coming. I'm going to wrap this video up now, and hope you appreciate it. And until next time, this is Patrick signing out. Peace.